Just the tips.
All right, everybody, it's Adam and Mike with Just the Tips, and episode 43 coming at you.
All right, and you're on location.
Yeah, I'm away for national sales meetings in beautiful Chicago, here at the Lowe's Hotel just outside of O'Hare, and
What's
excited
the weather like there, dude?
to get 75 and sunny. It's been beautiful the whole time, but I'm flying out in a couple hours, and everybody's freaking out. We had people from all over the country here and just watching the storm come up the East Coast, and the folks from Florida, from Tennessee, from Louisiana, from Georgia, they're obviously all freaking out. I got to fly to Buffalo tonight, so
So they're getting rain down there. You're getting snow.
Exactly. So it's funny because I always thought Chicago was called the Windy City because it's always windy here. The wind's always blowing. That's actually not the reason. Do you know what it is?
No.
Because this is where some of the greatest politicians in the world have come from. They're all full of hot air, and they're always talking too much. So that's why they call Chicago the Windy City.
Yeah, I don't doubt it.
Anyway,
all right, dude.
I've been away for a couple days. I don't even know what we're talking about today. I know what I want to talk about, but what are we going to talk about?
Well, I want to talk about the content that we've been putting out this week and the rest of this week coming up. Tot Hill Farm, dude. After going through all of this footage, man, I am just reliving every single thing there is about this course. It is awesome. But let's talk about what you want to talk about first.
Listen, I besides our fantastic sponsors, of which may be getting larger here in a second. So shout out to Shaft Wraps. Stuck a new custom-made Shaft Wraps on the.
Dude, I was just thinking about this before I sat down today. I was like, you know what? Like, we talk about Shaft Wraps. We give them a shout out every single time. I don't think we really talk about how cool these are. And how much when people see them in person, how much they like them, like almost like Finn scooters. Shout out to Finn scooters.
Let's go, Finn.
We mentioned Finn scooters, like, yo, we should get these. Everybody's like, yeah, like, nah, probably not. Like, dude, every single time we're on the range, so many people come up to us and look at your wedges because they're flashier. Mine are the matte black, and yours were the yellow, and what was the other? Oh, you had the Augusta topographical. But I don't think people really. I'm trying to get this through in the camera right now. It's like, just buy a couple of them and throw them on your wedges, guys. They are totally cool and totally different. So just get some.
I'm gonna go you one better, Mike. I have an extra very special shaft wrap that was custom made for Just the Tips with our shield and logo on it. I'm gonna put it in my golf bag. The next person to come up and ask me about shaft wraps gets that wrap. So like I said, how about that? All right.
Yeah, and then go order some more.
And then go order the rest of them for the rest of your set. But for protection and decoration, shaft wraps is where it's at. And again, I love the new ones. I had to go buy a new set of wedges just to put the new wraps on there. So
yeah, I wrote to him and I said, listen, I don't know if I can get rid of this 54. This 54 has been this little trusty guy, minus that little mishap down in Myrtle Beach.
Snafu.
I don't know if I want to buy new wedges, so I asked him how to get them off, and he just said like a hair dryer or like a hot
heat gun. Heat gun.
Yeah.
Blowtorch.
Yeah, and he said, it's not gonna be the easiest to get them off, but that'll definitely speed up the process if you get them off and then put the new ones on.
There you go. You probably take acetone and rub down the shaft. Anyway, just for brevity's sake, but shout out to Back Nine Clean, your waterless club cleaning system. So, like I said, they're the best.
Big shout out to Sundogs.
Come on,
gotta love Sundogs, man. JTT 15 at checkout.
Exactly. And I'm coming up on 100 rounds with the same Sundogs, and now like the 5th flight of the year with Sundogs as well, because I always wear them on the plane.
You know what's crazy? And I think this is one of the reasons why I wanted to partner with Sundogs is when I was in my 20s, I lived in Charleston, South Carolina. And I always I worked at the golf course. I lost sunglasses or they got scratched or, I left them here or they fell off my head here. I bought a pair of Sundogs, and back then they were like $60, which they're still not much more expensive than that now. And I was like, this was the first pair of sunglasses I had for like over 6 months. I ended up having them for like 3 years, but they were the first pair that I kept for like a long time. I was like, I don't really want to spend money on sunglasses because I don't take care of them. But then I spent the money, so then I took care of them. So
I'm still impressed at the durability, and I didn't tell you, but I thought I lost them the other day, and they just fell off the dashboard where I had them because I was driving at night and wasn't wearing them, and they fell under the seat and I couldn't find them after like a couple of days. And I'm like, I had another pair of designer sunglasses that I used to wear, so I grabbed those, all worn out and scratched up and everything, and that were a lot more expensive than the Sundog. So for durability, for performance on and off the golf course, Sundog JTT 15, and don't forget to get your hybrid cover. Yep, cool.
Yeah, get that hybrid cover. It's so awesome.
Exactly.
All right.
Anybody
so
else you got to shout out? So, I'll just hit you.
We got a ton. We got a ton of
new stuff coming down. New stuff.
We'll see.
So, I can't wait to get to talk about Tot Hill Farms. I really can't, because again, going through the footage, and just again, we'll get there in a second. But I think we would be remiss if you and I didn't talk about this weekend that just passed. Do you want to do you want to go in the trust tree?
I want to go cry in my pillow right now.
Do you want to go into the trust tree? I mean, should we bring in a like a therapist for us at this point?
We could be in the trust tree with the nest and the. Yeah.
So I'll tee it up, and then I'll let you roll with it, and then I'll give you a little bit of my feedback. So Mike and I played in a prestigious event called the Jones, named after Robert Trent Jones, the designer of our home course, Wiltwyck. The Jones is a 2-day member tournament, and it's got a gross division and a net division. It's a 2-man best ball, and Mike and I made up our mind that we would simply win the gross division because we can. We're capable.
Well, and I don't normally play like that, but I said, you know what, I'm going to play this as a stroke play match for me, right? It's a 2-man best ball, and if you're in gross, you're also in net. Yeah. I said, if we go after the gross and we accidentally win the net, and so be it. Like, that's kind of what I wanted to do. I wanted to win both,
I wonder if you can. Probably.
No, I don't think so. That'd be awesome. That would be pretty cool.
It would be awesome. Yeah. So, but there was also a skins match. The tournament was spectacular, like really beautiful tee gifts. The food was great. It's only members, so you virtually knew almost everybody in the tournament. You couldn't ask for 2 more beautiful days. The course was playing great. The weather was fantastic. You and I started out on the backside on day 1 in a shotgun, and we started on 13. And we got off to a good start. I mean, we went.
So I had a birdie putt. I had a birdie putt on the first hole.
Yeah, and then I made a birdie on the second hole, and after just 2 holes, we were 1 under. Yep. And I think we finished up, the first day, playing well and ham and egg in it, and coming in at just 1 over, and we let a couple of get away from us, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I felt pretty good after the first day. Again, you can't harp on those ones where you're like, oh, we could have got that there, that would have dropped, or if I would have got up and down there. But
we had 6 birdies between the 2 of us. We gave a couple of back, but again, I played halfway decent. You played well. And at the end of day 1, we weren't even in the conversation when it came to net. Net we were in like the bottom third. Crazy. I didn't understand that.
But we were in 3rd place in the gross.
And the first and second place were tied at 3 under. So we were 4 off the lead.
It was a 3 under, 1 under, and then 1 over was us. Something like that.
I know for sure they were both tied at 3 under, and then we were in 3rd place at 1 over, and then the 4th place was 4 over. So all of a sudden, there we are, right in 3rd place, right there for the taking, right? So, go to bed that night feeling good, get up the next morning, come out. The greens are a little quicker. The tee time's a little later. So we got, a little bit even better conditions.
And they were tee times.
Yeah. And we got to go off of, what did we start on? 10, right?
10, yeah.
Yep. So I get off to a horrendous start going double, right? But there you are, the partner extraordinaire.
Yeah, so didn't hit a great tee shot on 10, but I wanted to get to the green on my second shot. So I hit a hybrid up there and pulled it, and I was actually past the bunker to give myself a shot at an easier shot getting up and down, and I did. So I got up and down to save par on 10, which was a good feeling.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, you made bogey on 11 where I made another double. Like I got in a bad situation in a sand trap and fired it out of bounds, so I was out of the hole. So we're up to 2 over on the day. We get the number 12, a shortish par.
No, 1 over.
We were 1 over.
I made
this. Yeah, we were 1 over. I'm talking the whole tournament, but you're right. We were 1 over on the day, 2 over on the tournament, and you come up to number 12 and you're like you're playing awesome, right?
Felt pretty good. I was there to win, dude. I showed up that morning like, yo, I gotta mark my spot in this group of people. Yeah. So I hit a good drive. I hit a good 4-iron up, and I had like a 66-yard shot to that pin and almost made it, dude.
Yeah, you left it hanging on the lip, on the back of the cup.
On the back lip, yeah.
Yeah.
On the back lip, so tap in birdie,
So tap in birdie, you're even, I make par. We go to 13, the short par 4. We're both on the green. I 3-putt. I'm now 5 over after 3 holes. You make a par, you're even, and you have us even through the first 4 holes, right? So, I was excited because I go, Mike's playing good. I'm not going to keep playing bad like this all the day. I parred 14 and birdied 15, parred 16 and birdied 17, and I go, holy cow! I go, we're 2 under on the day, 1 under for the tournament, and we could see, the other teams were coming back to us a little bit. All of a sudden, we're really in the mix. We're really in contention.
Yeah. Yep. Then we get up to 18.
Mm-hmm. Wind at our back.
Wind at our back. Where was your drive?
Just right rough, but it was a bomb. I had like 138 in or something like that. 130 in.
I think I was left rough, and
mm-hmm.
I was left rough, and I put one to the middle of the green. Pin was back left, tough pin, but it's not unputtable, but it is definitely It's a tough shot to go after from the fairway.
Two tiers, side hill green. You're in the middle, putting uphill side hill. Not an easy putt, but again, like you said, not impossible. I hit it I didn't get it up onto the second level, and it spun back into the middle of the green, a little bit closer than yours, but still reasonable. And then we kind of inexplicably both 3-putt the hole for bogey. And I think that's where this story takes a turn. Because we're somewhere now. We're like
dim the lights.
Yeah, we're like 1 over. We're even on the tournament, 1 under on the day, and I don't know if you want to go hole by hole or just kind of talk about the totality of what happened on the backside.
I erased it from my memory.
So I'll cut to the quick. With a birdie on a tough par 3, we shot a combined 43 7 over.
On the front 9, which was our back 9, on the front 9 it was.
So on the last 9 of the tournament, when we're in contention, not to win the entire thing, but certainly to finish in the top 3. Long story short, what was it? -1 won it, which we were right there.
Which means
+1,
the guys who were in first shot 2 over. And
right.
What did the second place guys finish at?
Either even or +1.
Even. So they shot 3 over, or 3 or 4 over.
And then the group behind us was +6. They were +4 the first day, +2 the second day, and we shoot a combined +8 to come in 4th gross, with a 7 over on the front 9. Like I said, I did block it out, but like I said, we always talk about the positives on this. I mean, I felt like somebody hit me in the gut with a baseball bat at the end of that round. I don't know what happened. It went so fast. It was so bad. We couldn't stop it. Every shot that we hit that was good was followed by a bad one. Everything that happened positive had a 3-putt attached. It was, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a tornado, dude. It was a whirlwind of. I mean, the only positive, and I don't want to sound negative, but you drained an awesome birdie putt on 5. What was that, like 35 feet?
Yeah, it was. The pin was all the way in the back. I was all the way in the front, and got a good read on it and put a good roll on it.
Which I thought was going to bounce us right back into it and like get us out of that funk, and it just, I don't know, man. It just fell right back apart, dude.
We backed it up with a bogey. We backed it up with a double. We bogeyed the easy par 3. And then 9, our last hole of the tournament, I haven't hit it in the pond on the right in 3 months.
Dude, you lost 2 balls on that hole.
Yeah. I sit there and not for nothing, but a par on that hole, either one of us would have salvaged the 3rd place finish. And, like I said, we couldn't pull that off,
Here's the deal. The big positive out of the whole thing is I know we can win that next year. I know that if you take our mediocre 9, let's just say, so what did we shoot on the front that day? Or technically the back, but our first 9. We shot even or 1 under? I think we were even.
On which one?
On the first 9 the second day.
First 9 the second day, I think we were hang on, 1 over, even. We were 1 under because we bogeyed 18.
So even say we shoot even on that last 9, like even if we take that, like we're winning that thing.
We win the tournament at 2 under on the yeah. So like I said, it's so not only that tournament, Mike, but you and I have to think that together, because we were saying it, we don't get a chance to play together a lot as a team. We're usually playing against each other. We're usually playing the same tournament, but in different groups. It just, we don't get a chance to be partners together. I think I had a couple of takeaways from it. Number 1 was good try. I mean, the guys that we lost to had a combined team handicap in the first group of probably 5. The second, not even. If you got Bird and Redmond.
Dude, are you kidding me? They're like a 1.
They're probably a 1 between the 2 of them. The governor and the owner are probably a 5 between the 2 of them, right? So not each.
Maybe, at most.
I think the owner's a 6, and the governor's a +1, and then the other team was probably a 5 or 6. You and I together, index are 11. From the Blues, I think we're 13, right? So I think it was a really good team effort, but as good of a team effort as it is, because you and I practice together so much, because we influence each other so much, because we are in the same simulator and on the same putting green and we're working together. When we're going well together, we're both going well together. When we go bad together, we're both going bad together, like nobody.
I was just going to say that we definitely feed off of each other. The good thing is you don't feed off of me, right? Here's the deal.
Too selfish to feed off anybody else.
You're just unaware of anything else that's going on, unless it's even if I'm playing bad, like you still do your thing. I definitely feed off of you. I actually feed off of you when you're playing bad. Like if you're like those first 2 holes, I'm like, dude, I got us, right? Like that felt good to be able to hold us for a couple holes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then when the crap happened on 2 and then 3 and then it bled.
Do we want to take the time to get into that, or do we want to skip that for now?
So I want to talk about, I don't know if you remember, we did I didn't put the match together yet, but we did the remove the club challenge.
Oh yeah.
And every single time, and I think you were intoxicated.
Perhaps it was before 75 hard and at the end of the summer.
There was an 80% chance you were in. I think you were.
Could have been.
Every single time we got on the tee box,
Mm-hmm.
you talked about all the bad stuff on the hole. Like
Okay.
that was one of the things that you were doing. in that
Oh, I
challenge.
remember this. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, like, are you really doing that right now? I didn't know if you were trying to do some gamesmanship on me, but like, I'm like, is that what you think when you get onto this tee? Like,
No.
But it was just.
I don't know
like,
why that
weird and
particular day I was just identifying all the bad things on the course.
this tree, that bunker, this wet here, and there's mud on the ball, and this and that, and I was like, I almost like it didn't bother me that day because we were having fun out there, but
Yeah.
definitely on this one, I was like, man, this dude's
So-
vibe just changed.
Yeah, so I think that's true, and you see it a lot in scrambles. Like it's a must in scrambles, but it's definitely a major factor in a 2-ball. Is that the energy of the team, the momentum of the team carries you one way or the other. And when you're ham and egging it, when things are going well, and one guy has a bad hole or a bad stretch, if the other guy's picking him up, everything's okay. But the long story short is after the 3-putt on 18, we came to 1. I ended up flaring the ball into the bunker and couldn't get up and down. And hey, listen, it happens. One's a hard hole, and I've taken big numbers on that hole before and still shot a good round. But we got up to 2. I hit my perfect drive, a power fade to like 220, got the wind at my back, even though the pin's back, and hit what I thought was a perfect 4-wood, and even yelled out to you, "Hey, Mike, I think that's in the hole." Now,
Yeah.
I can't see like more than 100 yards in front of me, so I don't know what happened after it left the club face.
I
But
saw
you're-
it because I was over on the one side.
Yep.
I was like,
So-
it's in the bunker, but it's not a big deal.
I don't care.
In the bunker.
It's bunker green side, and to me it's still a sandy opportunity for birdie at the very least. It's an up and 2 putt. We make a par or whatever. But what I let get to me is when I got there, I was the first person in that bunker for the day. There's no footprints in there. There's no rake marks. There's no animal tracks. There's no nothing. And whoever did rake the trap had taken the rake and raked a gully into the bottom of the trap. So they took the sand.
It was this, right? It was the 2 sides coming down and meeting at a point, and you had to hit like this way out of the trench.
So there was no sand because all the sand had been pushed up against the front face and the back face, and they just left it kind of bare there in the middle. But there was literally a trench the ball was sitting in, and I had to cut across and I couldn't. Now I'm mad because being in a bunker is one thing. Being in a bunker that somebody didn't rake and they left a footprint in is kind of shitty. But again, it sucks. It is what it is. But and I don't want to put this on anybody because this is on me and I accept that. But when somebody's job is to rake the bunker for a tournament and they rake it in such a way that it becomes more of a penalty than the actual bunker itself, that I did let get to me, right? And I'm going, not only is it out of my control, but it's like, this isn't rub of the green. This isn't you got in a divot. This isn't you were up against a tree. This isn't you got on hard pan. This is, hey, somebody didn't do their job right today, and now it's affecting me. And that one, it just spun me into a whirlwind that I normally don't get into on the course.
And I tried to explain it to you that, like, even though it was, like you just said, it's not the, what did you call it? The rub of the green or something like that?
Yeah, rub of the green.
It's not a bit, it is though. Even though it was somebody's job to do it correctly and they didn't, it's still the rub of the green. And that's what I was trying to explain to you. I'm like, dude, there's nothing you can do about it.
No.
Right? Like, it is what it is now. Like, yeah, maybe if we saw that, before the round started, hey, but it is what it is, and that's what you get,
And listen,
and I tried to get you out of it, and you didn't want to come out of it. And then on the next hole, the first thing you did was bitch about the mud being on your ball. I'm like, this guy's out of it. He's fucking out of it. And I'm like, dude, I got to put my other earbud in.
So 2 things. One is, I have to say it. The crew does an unbelievable job with the course every day, every single day.
It was Trevor.
The traps are great, the greens are great, everything is great, and like I said, this was just a one-off. And again, I would never even say anything to the groundskeeper. It's just a one-time thing, but it's a one-time thing that affected me. But then once you get into that negative mindset, you can't snap it. You hit the ball in the middle of the fairway, and you get up there, and of course there's a glob of mud on it, and of course it's in a spongy area, and then of course you hit it up and you miss the green because of the mud, and it doesn't come to lay on grass, it comes to lay on a hard pan. The one little piece of hard pan that's on the entire hole, of course your ball ends up on it, and of course you can't get up and down. And then of course the next hole, you overhook it because you're pissed off. And dude, I just couldn't get out of that funk, and it did affect you. It may have affected other playing partners. Again, like I said, it was, I don't know. If you are a licensed sports therapist and you would like to take this case on, please contact us through our Instagram page.
Over this podcast, I'm just putting good vibes. I'm just going to put good vibes, and I'm going to play the good vibes song.
But Mike, that's what, you have a reputation as being a very tough trainer, no excuses. You curse at people in the gym that are your clients to make them do what they're supposed to do, but it's never in a negative or malicious way, right? It's stern, but there's never negativity around it, right? Here's the thing, and you are the king of good vibes.
We could talk about Tot Hill next week, because this is going to go get a little deeper, because this week we've had some issues with my daughter's softball team, and I was asked to kind of help out maybe on a separate day on maybe whooping these kids into shape a little bit, and not really like shape like Navy SEAL
physical
boot camp,
shape.
but hey, start backing up, players. And I know it's going to make you tired from running from left field to behind the third every single time, so we're going to put you in shape, making sure you get down to first, things like that, but in my way, my version. So the coach said, maybe they need a little tough love. Mm-hmm. And I started thinking about this. One, all coaches want you to like them. All coaches want their players to like them. Well, I'm not a coach. You don't have to like me, okay? But when I do what I do with my clients and what I would do with these kids, it's because I see more potential in you than you see in yourself, mm-hmm. right? And that's what I was saying with that in that bunker, dude. I was like, it is what it is. You've been in worse situations before. You got this shot, dude. Worst case scenario, you chunk it out, you 2-putt par. And we're out of there with, hey, save the par there, let's get one back on 3. You know what I mean? Instead of letting it go, because I think you still made par there, did you not?
I did. I chili shanked it out of there, thank God, but I had to chip again,
but that was,
from across the green and got up and down.
I would say that was probably not the best you could have done out of there. You would have had to get lucky to get one close. Yeah. And then you got out of there with a par, dude, and that should be a positive.
Right.
From that lie.
Instead of being all pissed off, yeah.
And making it a negative, and then a negative, and then a negative. You know what I mean? So when it comes to something like that, where I'll take responsibility too. Whereas I should have shook the shit out of you and said, dude, let's just get up and down for par. Because I threw mine into the driving range, and I was out of the hole. So I should have came over and coached you through that and caddied you through that to be like, dude, you got this. I've seen you hit worse shots before. Dude, didn't you hit one that was fried egg and got up and down from that?
I was in so many traps that weekend. Yeah, more than normal. I had a bunch of fried eggs.
You know what I mean?
50% up and down percentage out of the sand. But
I think that's one of the things with the positivity, especially when it comes from me, is I see more potential in you, not just you, but clients and kids and things like that, to where like I'm hard on you or I'm like giving you tough love because you can do it.
Yeah.
And like to see what you did and like let it get to you that much, it was bothering me.
Yep.
Not only was the negativity bothering me, but it was bothering me that you let it get to you like that. When I've seen you play like crap and still somehow squeak out a 75, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think there was like twofold for me, where it was like the negativity was definitely bleeding over to like the team, but then also I'm like, the dude still made a par. What the hell is he so pissed off about? You know, if we would have just been happy with the par, got out of there, and been like, all right, cool, dude, you know, boom, boom, boom. That 9 is a totally different 9 now.
Yeah. Yep. There's still a win in there, you know, even with that lie. Like I said, I don't know why I let that particular situation affect me. You know, again, golf is a game of dealing with whatever situation you find yourself in, and rarely is it the ideal situation. And there are varying degrees of bad. That's not as bad as it could ever get. Again,
I mean, you still could hit it. I mean, what about your one in a Hurtigan last year when you were behind that rock on 7?
Yeah, bad luck right up against the rock, and we were in the what other match we were playing in. I had a chip out left-handed, to a tough green, wild. I think that was this year's Hurtigan, but no, Mike, the point's well taken, and in 2 things. One is I feel terrible because I think we had an opportunity to win, and especially as the A player, I owe it to the 2 of us, to keep my head in those kinds of situations. But 2, and maybe you want to talk about this a little bit too, is we were in a situation to win a scratch event. That's not a situation I find myself in very often. I play enough of them where I'm usually competing and I feel good about my results, but I'm not winning scratch events against top players. And again, you've made big moves with your handicap, but you're still a high single digit. And here we're battling the club champ, the former club champ, guys half our age that hit the ball twice as far, and we're right there. And I think I let the pressure of the moment get to me. So
did you think about that when we were playing?
No, I thought about it after. That I was ramping.
Did you think it affected you?
I think so. Yeah, 100%. I think we had a chance to win, and I knew we had a chance to win, and I started pressing and pushing myself and maybe the team farther, where we just kind of needed to sit back and let the game come to us.
See, I didn't feel any of that from you, and I didn't feel any of it from myself either.
Well, I did a good job of hiding that part anyway. Yeah.
I will say this.
Man,
we've been talking over the last couple of months. I had to bail on the Net Club Championship. I was in the final, but I couldn't play the last day, and I bailed. A couple other things I didn't.
For all the right reasons.
I wasn't fully committed to the Hurtigan, like making the. I would have loved to qualify for the Hurtigan, but even if I did, I wasn't going to play in it. Yeah. So there's a lot of things I kind of go like 1 foot in, 1 foot out almost. And you've been on me a little bit about like, hey, do you know what it feels like to win? And I said, yeah, I win at life. But to get a little taste of that being a scratch event and being right there in the hunt, like it makes me understand what you're saying more. Now, here's the thing. I'm not going to win the Hurtigan at a well, back then I was like a 10 handicap, right? I'm not going to win the Hurtigan at a 10 handicap. So, but that being said, in my mind, the club championship was a net club championship. So again, it's kind of like a little asterisk next to it, even though it still is something. But like you just said, this is a scratch event against really good players, a really good event. It's the Jones, man. It's a member.
Prestigious.
Getting that taste makes me understand what you were saying, and it makes me want it more because, dude, I'm so happy. I think that was Sunday. I went to a soccer game. I didn't sit with anyone, even though Lisa was there, Lisa's dad was there, all the moms were there. I sat over there because I didn't want to talk to anyone. watched my daughter score a goal, which was great. I got excited, but internally, I couldn't even externally get happy about it.
Yeah.
I went home because my daughter's always the last one to leave the bench or the dugout. She's the slowest kid in the world. So I went home. I was like, hey, are you coming home or what are you guys doing? She was like, I think we're going to stay and watch, another game. And I was like, all right, cool. So I came home. I was so happy nobody was here because I was so mad and upset. Like my dog died from blowing that chance.
Yep.
Yeah. I literally sat in this chair, probably staring at my computer, just wondering what the heck just happened.
Yeah. Yeah, I compounded that a little bit because I went home and we're not drinking, so that normal, I think weak adult response to drown your miseries in a little whiskey. It looks so romantic on TV and actually does help, or at least makes you feel better. Can't do that. Can't even have a cigar. Out of calories for the day, so can't eat. So literally just having to sit with it. With no distraction from it, no external distraction. That was extraordinarily difficult. But I think, one of the things about, trying to have a positive mental attitude is that, my definition of positive is the right attitude for the given situation. And after that loss and that way, the attitude was okay to feel hurt, it was okay to be upset, it was okay to be disappointed. But you only for a day.
But learn from it.
And you
got for a day.
And you got to take away a lesson. And I think there was a couple of important lessons. One is I ran into two situations that I didn't realize I didn't have the skills to overcome. Again, like I said, if it was just the bunker, if it was a bad lie in the bunker, it was all those things, I would have had zero problem with it. It was something that I hadn't run into before. Now I can understand and hopefully recognize that. And then the other thing is the pressure I was putting on myself to win this tournament. Not for nothing, dude. I made 8 birdies in 2 days.
Yeah, dude.
And I mean, there was some playing going on there. I think we were both playing just a little bit above our heads. The question is how do we finish that? How do we, continue? And when I say we, I mean me.
No, I think I say we. I would say, to answer your first one where you said you ran into something that you've never kind of dealt with before. Here's the deal, okay? And we've talked about this in the past where you can't explain all the nuances of golf to a newbie, right? You got to get out there and you got to play them and then talk about them as they come up, right? Well, that's also going to happen still with these shots, these new things that are going to happen, especially as you play more competitive golf. Things are going to happen. New things or new situations are going to arise, and you need to. I want you to do this. If I'm not there, I want you to do this. Is look back at that bunker, that situation, and be like, it is what it is, man.
But Mike, you bring up such a good point because it's not that bunker is the click, whatever it is. But especially as we advance, and we're talking about an amateur tournament schedule next year. We're talking about some really exciting things for 2025 and 2026. Other things like that are going to come up. It won't be a misraked bunker. It'll be something else. It'll be something we're not even thinking about right now.
Exactly. That's what I mean.
Yeah,
it'll be
thinking about
bunch
that
of
bunker,
new things.
Yep. So we should name the bunker. We should name that situation. So when we see something else similar, we can is that the bunker of
Strantz.
doom?
You got Strantz.
I didn't get Strantz. Mike Strantz would not let that bunker. You take his name out of your mouth.
No, he would have did it on purpose. He would have did it on purpose.
He would have put a rock wall in the middle of the bunker.
Yeah, dude. Wait until you guys see this picture of a rock hanging over the edge of a bunker, where if you were in that bunker under that rock, you might as well just crawl under it and die.
Yeah. So the the bunker collapse, is that what we're calling it? Is it the bunker of doom? The
bunker situation of 2024.
There you go.
It's something, but whatever that is, dude. Whenever you have that
There'll be
I don't want to
something
say
else
that
like that out there.
It'll be something, and then we just say, bunker on 2, dude. Bunker on 2. Remember that. Just get out of that. Be like, dude. All right, let me. Because you were lying there in 2. Okay, so out is a green and regulation still.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And these are all the things I should have said to you, but I was over. I was over on the range getting my ball.
Yep. So like I said, I think the bottom line though is there's a saying that I like a lot. It says, "In every adversity lies the seed of equal or greater benefit for those that choose to look for it with a positive mental attitude." And again, that's exactly
You're not
what
putting that on
here.
a T-shirt, are you?
No,
it's too much.
It'll be a coffee mug. Coffee mug. It'll be on the bottom, so when you pick it up, everybody could see it.
There you go.
But that's what this is about. Like I said, if we take that away from here, if both of us take that away, we're going to be playing golf for the next 40 years. I'm sure, and if that's the lesson we learn and never duplicate it for the next 40 years, it was the best thing that ever happened to us.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I think
I'm a little bit more emotionally spent than I thought I'd be on this podcast. I got to be honest with you.
Yeah, dude, I was ready to talk about Tot Hill Farm.
Which is it's like the exact opposite emotion. It's just joy and peace and love and Mike Strantz.
Oh, good vibes.
Yep. So
good vibes and Mike Strantz.
Before we go though, let's tease the Tot Hill Farms in beautiful Asheboro, North Carolina, one of the most magical places on planet Earth. We've been putting out a lot of teaser stuff about it. What's to end on a positive note? What was your favorite thing about Tot Hill Farms? You're like the thing that
the rocks.
I mean, I have 100 things. Which
it's
one
the rocks.
though?
No,
all the rocks?
It's the rocks. It's all the rocks. Now, I can't explain it to anybody except you and Maddie because you guys were the only ones there. Like the rocks were so clean. And I know how dumb that sounds when I say it, but they were so perfectly placed and just like artwork on the side of every hole or in the middle of the hole or near the green or whatever. None of them came into play except one, and you guys will see. But they were just so nicely, painted there, man. They were just perfectly painted there. Like if you were to paint a picture of a golf course and you painted rocks, that's what this place looked like.
And 99% of them didn't come into play. They were strictly decorative.
99.9.
But the 0.1% that did come in play, they left their mark both literally and figuratively on you.
Yeah.
But it was an incredible, like
nothing
favorite? Else I've seen. My favorite thing, I probably could go with the top 10 that would be like within a centimeter of one another. But my favorite thing of the day was when we first got there. Just you, me, and my daughter. There's a couple of staff members there, and we went over. We were the first ones on the driving range, and this driving range sits way up on a hill, and you hit down into like this valley that's used to be woods. They carved out the woods, and it's a field, and there's hay bales down there. But this heavy, heavy dew. There's a little misty fog still in the air. The sun's coming up, and it was perfect. I mean, it was perfect. The air was still. There was no car noise. There was nobody else there. It was just the three of us and those ping golf bags that they had the balls in. And
so
every footstep was the first one of the day. Every divot we took was the first one of the day. And it was just, you hit the ball high into the air and it takes forever to fall to the earth. The sun just started coming up.
Like over the trees
and made everything
and it was a little hazy.
And made everything sparkle, all the dew sparkle. It was so pretty and so nice. And just for 15 minutes, we didn't say anything. We just warmed up and hit some balls, and it was, it was like the most peaceful place on like some people climb like a mountain, and sit up there to be by themselves.
Anytime you have that bunker shot on 2, Tot Hill Farm Range.
Go to the range at Tot Hill Farm Range, and that was just the range. That was before my unbelievable the unbelievable practice facility that I almost missed our tee time because I was so locked in. Before we ever stepped foot on the course, which had a million awesome things, the clubhouse, the whole thing, but just that moment on the range. So guys, if you've spent the last 45 minutes with us, and we truly appreciate it. if Mike and I are talking about rocks and the range, just imagine what the rest of this golf course is like. And by the way, it's a sub $100 round of golf.
Yeah. Yeah, we get there before they bump their prices up because they're gonna.
Oh, it's going to be $300, $400, $500 in a short period of time once it catches on. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's caught on. It's caught on. We are headed back down there Thanksgiving. Little Strantz trip.
Can't wait.
All right, that's enough. That's enough.
I got a flight to catch, and there's a hurricane coming up the coast here, so I'm looking forward to a bumpy ride home. But
we got a ton of Strantz and Tot Hill stuff coming out over this past week and all of next week. So
looking forward to it.
Make sure you like, follow, subscribe.
Do all the stuff. Smash that button.
Yeah. All right.
All right, man. I'll see you home in a few hours. I'm Adam.
Yeah, dude. I'm Mike. Just the tips.
Just the tips.